everyone. CBSE has just released the curriculum for Class 10 for the academic year 2021-22. So, if you are in Class 10, this video is for you. I'm going to explain the English curriculum in a very clear and simple manner. Firstly, you should be aware that the complete name of the subject is English Language and Literature, and the subject code is 184. Let us now look at the prescribed books. We have The First Flight, Footprints Without Feet, and Words and Expressions workbook. Let us look at the distribution of 100 marks. The 100 marks are distributed into internals 20 marks and externals for 80 marks. In internals, you will be given marks for your pen and paper test, art integration project, notebooks, subject enrichment activities like speaking and listening. For 80 mark paper, you will be appearing for a written examination which will be evaluated externally. Now moving over to the paper pattern, we have, if you see broadly, the entire paper is divided into two parts, part A and part B. Part A being the objective part for 40 marks, and part B the subjective part for again 40 marks. Now part A is further divided into reading for 20 marks with 2 passages, literature for 10 marks with 2 extracts, and grammar for 10 marks with 10 MCQ questions. So the entire objective paper is for 40 marks with totally 40 MCQ questions. Now looking at part B, the 40 marks are for writing, 10 marks with 2 questions, one for formal letter, one for analytical paragraph writing. The second one for literature of 30 marks, wherein you will be asked 3 kinds of questions: very short answer type, and long answer type questions covering your literature textbooks, making it up altogether for 80 marks. Now let us have a glance at part A once again. So there are 3 major areas in part A: reading, literature and grammar. Let us look at the question paper question wise. Now question number 1 is a reading passage. It's a discursive passage wherein you will be tested for inference, evaluation and vocabulary. And question number 2 is again a passage, but this is a case-based factual passage with visual input or statistical data like chart, etc. to test analysis and interpretation. In both of these questions, you will be given 12 questions and you will attempt any 10 out of the 12 questions, covering up to 20 marks of your reading part. Now, moving to literature, 10 marks, question number 3 will be your extract-based question. The extract will be either from drama or prose for 5 marks. There will be 2 extracts, you will be attempting any 1 out of 2. Question 4, again multiple choice question based on an extract, but this one is from poetry to test analysis and interpretation. Once again, you have a choice in both the literature questions. You will be answering only 1 out of the given 2 questions. So therein you cover 10 marks of your literature for MCQ. Moving to question number 5, which is going to test your grammar. Here you will be given 12 questions and you will be answering only 10 out of the 12 questions. The grammar questions here will be based on questions like gap filling, editing, dialogue writing, etc. And board has given us the topics for grammar. So these are the topics, list of topics from where the 10 MCQ questions are picked up. You have tenses, modal, subject verb, agreement, reported speech, determiners, passive voice, clauses, and prepositions. Moving to part B, that is the subjective part of the question paper, wherein we have writing and literature being covered for 10 and 30 marks. Question number 1 of the subjective part is a formal letter. Now here you can note that all the questions which are for 5 marks have the same word limit of 100 to 120 words. So question 1 of subjective part is formal letter, and it is a letter based on a given situation. So we have business letters and letters to editor covered here. Part 2 has a question on analytical paragraph writing, which is based on a given map, chart, report, line graph or cues. In both the cases, you will be given a choice. You will be given 2 questions, out of which you will attempt any one. Moving to question number 3. Now, this is a literature-based question. Now, herein there are 2 parts. One part for first flight and the other for footprints. In both, you have 2 mark short questions. You will be given 3 questions from first flight, out of which you will appear for 2. Likewise, 3 for footprints, out of which you will appear for 2. Likewise, out of totally 6 questions, you will appear for 4 questions, which will cover up to your 8 marks for these very short questions. Keep in mind that the word limit of these short questions, 2 mark questions, is between 20 to 30 words. Question number 4. In a very similar pattern, once again, you have questions both from first flight and footprints. 3 questions for first flight wherein you will answer any 2. Again, 3 questions for footprints book wherein you will answer any 2. And to note here, it's very important for you to note here that the word limit of the 3 mark question is 40 to 50 words. So altogether you are appearing for 4 questions out of 6. Being 3 mark questions, it will cover up for your 12 marks. Moving to question number 5, which is a long answer type of question, which is a choice-based question. You will be given any 2 questions from first flight book to assess your creativity, imagination, and extrapolation beyond the text. Now, this question can be based on a context, a situation, a plot from the book. And it will be for 5 marks. As I said before, all 5 mark questions will be written in about 100 to 120 words. Moving to the last question of your question paper, question number 6, 1 out of 2 long answer type of questions. Now this is from the other book, Footprints Without Feet, based on theme or plot involving interpretation, extrapolation beyond the text, and inference of character sketch, to be answered in about 100 to 120 words, covering up for your 5 marks. So this is how your 80 marks will be covered in your external examination. Now this year, none of the lessons have been deleted from any of the textbooks. So you have all the lessons from your first flight prose, around 11 lessons from prose, 8 poems, and all the lessons, 10 lessons from Footprints Without Feet. So here we come to an end of the video. Hope the video was very informative and you are very clear with the paper pattern. Please share the video with your friends and the people who may be in need of it. Thank you for watching.